Hey all, Mr. Thibodeau here. So let's go ahead and jump into lesson 29, dividing by a decimal number. Now I've talked a little bit about this before, but let's go ahead and really break it down, okay? So when you are dividing by a decimal, okay, where you have two decimals in the problem, if it was 4 goes into 1.24, it would be nice and easy. All you would do would be 4 divided by 1.24, and you would do 4 goes into 12 three times, that's 12, 0, that 4 comes down, 4 goes into 4 one time, okay, 31, but that's not your answer. You take this decimal and you just move it up, 0.31, that would be your answer. If you were trying to figure out, right, 4 into 124, okay, that'd be even easier, right? There's no decimal. The decimal would be right here. You would get 31. That decimal point would go up. That would be your answer. If you had 0.4 goes into 124, okay, now remember the decimal is right here. Now 0.4 is going to go into 124 a lot more times than just 4 is, right? 4 is a whole number. 0.4 is not even a whole number, a whole one. So you would expect that 0.4 goes into it a massive amount more than how many times 4 goes into it. Now the whole math is the same, right? 3, 12, 0, the 4 comes down, 1. Except, like we said, that 0.4 is going to go into 124 so many more times than just 4. So this decimal is going to move 1 to the right, okay? And our answer is actually going to be 310 times. Okay. If a decimal is in the divisor, we're going to bring the decimal over to the right. So you can do this for the answer, or you could do this for the problem. So what they're going to show you is 0.4 goes into 124. That decimal goes 1 to the right. And now we have 4 divided by 100, or 1,240. Okay, this is an equivalent problem to 0.4 going into 124. Okay, so that's what they're trying to tell you. Now you can try and do this problem instead of this problem, but I'm going to tell you right now, you can move that decimal at the end of the problem. You can do it, you can just move it over at your answer, right? Instead of 31, you move it over, and now you have 310. Okay, so you do have some options. Now, when we are looking at this, so they show you a little bit about how 8 divided by 4 times 10 gives you 80 over 40, right? So 10 multiplying both sides by 10 is equivalent, right? You're essentially multiplying it by 1. That's our identity principle. Okay, so all we're doing in this case here is multiplying it by 10. So you can multiply both 0.4 and 124 by 10, or you can multiply at the end. Okay, because again, essentially all we're doing is we're multiplying by 10 and 10, okay, which, as we know, equals 1. Okay. This allows us to do the math without having to worry about that extra decimal. So in our actual problem, which was 0.4 divided into 1.24, we can do this as 31, and then take this decimal and move it over 1. So we get our answer is 3.1, right? That 0.4 goes there. Or we could change it ahead of time and do 4 goes into 12.4. Okay, either of these are the same. You can move that decimal over at the end, or you can move the decimal over in the beginning, whichever you'd prefer to do. Okay, either way, it gives you in the end a problem that is just one decimal, a division problem that is just one decimal. And that allows you to be able to actually solve it. Okay. All right. Well, that's all I have for you guys here. Let's switch over. I don't think there's any other new information really they give you. So the problems here, we're going to have you do 2 through 30 even. Okay. And that's the written practice. Have a good one, my dudes.